With what is happening in the stock market, as well as just developments, which we'll talk about here in this video, I think it's becoming more and more important to have allocation into this sector this next cycle. And the sector that I am talking about is literally taking over the world. It is AI. We've talked about AI altcoins in depth quite a bit on this channel. But I think a few things that we're seeing, especially in the stock market right now, are showing that when money does rotate back into altcoins, we are going to see AI lead the charge. And it already is, even though we're not seeing 5, 10x's on some of these tokens. If we look at the data, which we'll talk about in this video, AI is already the leading sector by altcoin momentum. And I think that is only going to compound as money comes back into alts. So we're going to dive into that, which altcoins I'd be accumulating, and of course, the data behind it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, guys, be sure to drop down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day here on In the Game. We have you covered top to bottom, every single thing that you need to win in the crypto markets. So hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And if you haven't already, 13 hours to go when we do start the $120,000 Blowfin trading competition. You can join this from anywhere in the world. You can join Team Hustle and compete alongside me to be able to try and get your share of that $120,000 prize pool. Check out Blowfin down below in the description. Whether you're new to Blowfin, whether you have an existing account, you can join up and trade alongside me in our path to $120,000. So let's go ahead and jump right in to the video. Look, the market's bullish right now. And I've seen so many people in my comment sections below in the previous videos, oh, we're still in a bear market. And I'm not going to argue that. We might still be in a quote unquote bear market. But I think that the pain for those who just weren't allocated or were waiting for 45K Bitcoin, I think that that's really starting to show across the timeline and in YouTube comments. People really thought we were going lower, and this pump is kind of proving otherwise. And I think until the next stages of this conflict that we're seeing between the US and Iran, I think that we're probably looking at a pretty bullish market here. And when you look across the board at altcoins, we do see TON up 12% on the week, Aave up 28% on the weekly, Hyperliquid up 10% on the weekly. We see Athena up 25%, Arbitrum up 28%. So we are seeing some money come into alts, but we're really seeing money come into AI stocks. And this really made headlines yesterday as Allbirds, which is a shoe company, said that they're now an AI computing company, and their stock literally ripped from $6 or from $2.50 all the way up to $21 in a day. Absolutely ridiculous. If we look at their 5-year chart, this is the chart. So you can see here, this participated like a meme coin yesterday, which is just crazy to see. It's still up 250% over the monthly time frame. And a lot of this is happening. Like, a lot of stocks are just at record levels right now, and most of them are AI stocks. We're also seeing Claude. Opus 4.7 did come out today. I've been using it. It is ridiculous. I mean, the advancements in AI that is coming out right now. Miles also tweeting here about Claude Code with TradingView as one of the best AI trading setups he's ever used. And I really agree with this. Investors in 6 months, when they realize a lot of these AI companies are extremely cheap. Now, this is referring to the stock market, but I think in crypto, the opportunity is also massive if you select your horses properly. So as Wizard of Soho says, and like we said at the beginning of this video, people are begging for a dip again. Bro, can we please dip to 60? I'll definitely buy this time. But that is the type of thing that, this is what happens in bear markets. This happens in bull markets. Like, you think it's going to keep going higher. That's whenever it takes a big tank. But whenever you're trying to beg for lower prices, that's when you get stuck kind of like on the sidelines at this point in time. And I agree with Easy here. I like altcoins here. I think that alts have a pretty good path, in my opinion, if Bitcoin can just continue, especially if it gets to that $80,000 level. I think we're going to start to see altcoins make some pretty major moves as far as the short to mid term coming up. So what sector should we be looking at? To me, it's just AI. You have to be allocated into AI. The 30-day sector performance, you might not even notice this. And this was as of 5 days ago, but AI is already leading the charge. So out of all of these different, sectors, AI, privacy, utilities, RWA, file storage, Bitcoin, perp dexes, etc., you can see the leading sector here, AI, 24% to the green on the monthly period on a weighted average percentage change. This was off the backs of stuff like TAO, which had a crazy good month, went from 165 all the way up to 360. We see Render, it was doing really well. We see stuff like Near Protocol had a really good month as well. Now they're kind of like middling. They're like down 1% because that 30-day time period has kind of come to an end. But we recently did see a lot of money come into AI alts, and you can see it here. 24% to the green. It was a great month for AI altcoins, but I think that it's essential. And by the way, we go live on Kick 3 times a week at this point in time. Follow the Kick channel down below. I answer all questions live. We dive into different tokens, etc. Someone was talking about AI and crypto, and I just think so many people are sidelined on this narrative. And, with just how obvious the world is right now, AI is taking over everything. I think you have to have allocation. So to me, there's only 3 must-haves. I think there's 3 you need to be invested in. Number 1 is Bittensor. And just today, Venice, which has recently been on a crazy run. Eric Voorhees talks about how they're now working with Bittensor subnets. New Venice uncensored 1.2 model was tuned on subnet 4, which is Targon. Targon is the subnet that is officially partnered up with Intel. So this is big news. We also see Bittensor is preparing for institutional capital. Treasury vehicles are accumulating TAO. Trillion parameter trading runs, which would absolutely lap the 72 billion trading run, which Jensen Huang, NVIDIA's CEO, was actually praising on the All In podcast. TAO Institute is live today. So this did go live today. Bittensor Research and Analytics. We see Jesus, who's been doing a great job covering the Bittensor ecosystem, that a 364,000 person consulting firm just plugged itself into a Bittensor subnet. This is Score Subnet 44. This is one that I really like as well. Score has some really cool technology under the hood. So this is all happening right now on the back of whenever this happened, right? We saw the little dip in subnets, and whenever one of the subnets decided to basically pull the plug and rug pull their investors, subnets are recovering quite nicely. And I think that the FUD is absolutely baseless whenever it comes to the long term. So first and foremost, number 1 on my list is Bittensor TAO. You know this from watching the channel, but even with all these developments, you're seeing big time developers come in, build on different subnets on Bittensor. You're seeing big institutional capital come through. You're just seeing more and more development. I think that the FUD is going to roll over pretty quickly. So number 1 to me is absolutely Bittensor TAO. And I think it's a big sleeper of all of this is Render. When you look at Render, it's crazy. I mean, they're working with NVIDIA, Apple, HBO. HBO, some of their products are actually utilizing Render for some of their imagery, which is just absolutely insane to think about. And as we can see here, decentralized GPU network, real usage for rendering and AI interface, millions of frames rendered, actual revenue from job. They are one of the more profitable companies in all of AI crypto. I think it's a big time sleeper. Everyone's really looking at TAO and Near Protocol, which I do like. And those would be the 3. If you're going to be accumulating AI alts in 2026, I think those are the 3 that you absolutely should be looking at. Number 1, high weighted in Bittensor, and then probably split your bag between Render and Near Protocol. Those are going to move severely to the upside whenever we see money flow into altcoins. Just looking at the developments of AI with Claude and GPT and Gemini and the recent thing that came out, I even forget its name, the one that's like it could hack. I forget the name. There's so many different AI models. Mythos, there it is. Mythos, which seems just absolutely crazy. I think that AI is taking over everything to the point to where if you're invested in crypto, I don't even care if you're a Bitcoin maxi. I think you have to have allocation into AI. There's going to be decentralized protocols that come out of the AI run, absolutely smash it as far as numbers, and are going to be evaluated at tens and tens of billions of dollars. And I showed this last time we did like a broad scale AI video, but by 2033, the projections of AI are projected to quadruple. So the size of the market is projected to quadruple. And they're saying blockchain would occupy 14% of the market share of a $16 trillion market. That would be absolutely ridiculous. And blockchain could be used in different capacities than crypto. There is such a thing as blockchain that is not quote unquote cryptocurrency. So even if they occupy a few percentage points of that $16 trillion market between some of these big protocols like Render, TAO, Near, etc., this is just a must. And what we're seeing in the stock market with Allbirds and all these different companies going to record highs. I mean, the stock market's basically been in a bull run for the last 4 to 5 years. If you look at the just historical charts, I think you have to be allocated to AI and crypto. And I'm going to keep shouting this because I think that there's not a lot of things that are you have to have allocation in this asset class of crypto. But I think that AI is absolutely one of them. And for me, that allocation goes between TAO, my biggest bag, and then on top of that, Render and Near protocol, I think is a really well-balanced and quality stack of altcoins that are going to be here for the long haul. So guys, let me know your favorite AI altcoins down below. I know a lot of people like ICP. I'm just not a big ICP fan, or it's just something I'm not really interested in accumulating in 2026. But let me know your favorite AI altcoins. Do you have any sleepers, lower market cap coins that you think can do really well? I'd love to hear it in the comment section down below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, trade responsibly, my friends, and stay bullish, my friends.